I'm Nancy Priest, and I am the owner and founder of Glass of Learning Inc. And this is my journey as a female entrepreneur. So, my business is Glass of Learning Inc., and we design learning solutions for business. And what I mean by that is that even though our employees come to us with education, they come to us with experience, there are many things that we need to teach our employees about how to do things the business way. And so go into organizations, we figure out what's really going on, and then we design a solution. So the solution could be process improvement. It could be leadership training because knowledge and skills are only one piece of the puzzle on why people don't perform. So it could be about building trust. It could be all sorts of different things. But first thing is important to figure out what's really going on. With every learning solution that we design, we also design a learning transfer process because people don't go to 1 or 2 or 5 days of training and suddenly change their behaviors. We need an infrastructure and a support for manager involvement when participants learn training because too often the manager has no idea what the individuals have learned. So we create that structure so that managers are able to support and coach any one of their people who are attending training. We also do virtual learning and we do in-person learning and we do a lot of our learning in French and English. I really never thought about starting my own business, but it did eventually just surface for me. I had spent basically all of my career in corporate learning. I had 20 plus years experience before I started my business. I was working with organizations all over the world, designing and delivering learning solutions. And then I really wanted to focus on the types of projects that I was most interested in. So I really just transitioned from what I was doing to doing it now for myself. Well, one of the things we're very proud of is that we have won 22 awards for our programs, our learning programs, as well as our learning process. And 20 of those were on an international stage competing with other businesses around the world. So we won a Gold Stevie Award recently. Stevies are the Academy Awards for Business, and that was for our leadership development process and program. We won a .com award for our virtual learning platform. In the pandemic, we quickly realized we needed to switch from classroom training to virtual training. And so we had to learn all about virtual training, and we created a platform so that there was one spot for our participants to go to be able to do interactive learning. So we did that. We also created a learning transfer platform, and the learning transfer platform is so that, because as I say, people don't go to 1 day of training and suddenly change their behavior. They need to have a structure to be able to do that. So we create that structure so they can build new habits and make change in their process and have the managers involved. That's a very important piece. So participants earn badges. They tell us what they're learning from doing the practice activities, and that really helps them to reflect on the learning. Another, really great opportunity that came along was that I had the opportunity to work with the University of Toronto, and I designed the learning evaluation program, which is a 7-week course for people who are working on their adult learning certification. And so that was a really great accomplishment because we very much believe in evaluating the learning and making sure that you are getting the results that you're looking for. Another thing we've been really pleased with is we've been able to deliver our programs in French and English. I think it's important for every entrepreneur to realize that despite all the specialties that you have and all the experience, there are many things that we don't know about running a business. And so having the right talents to support you draws you out of that because, the things that we do that are not our specialty take more energy, take more time, and that's, really drains on the business. So getting the right talents to support you is really important. And so early on, I started to realize that is that I just don't know how to do this. And the other thing is that when you're so focused on running the business, you're not focused on building the business. And so that's those two things can conflict certainly. So that's an important piece. Well, I think an important piece for us has been to really document the things that we do. Because there's a lot of things in business, a lot of practices that you don't do every single day. And when you have to go back and think, oh, yeah, what did we do? How did we do that? When it's written down or documented in a structured way, it's really easy to go back to and find that. And it's also easy to train new employees to be able to take on those tasks. So that's been a big lesson learned that we're able to do. I think the other thing also is getting the right people in the right spot. In a small business, we don't have the resources to be able to hire another person if someone's not working out. So we have to make sure they're the right person. I mean, too often when your business is a little bit bigger, it's really easy to just bring another body in, bring another body in. And are they really the right person to be able to do the job? So that's something that we want to look at. That you want to be sure that you're keeping in mind with that, and structured learning for anyone who is coming in, because it's despite the talents that you've hired, they don't necessarily know the way you want to do things, and so having a real clear training plan is an important piece. Well, one of the first things I did when I started the business was I reached out to our professional association, which is the Institute for Performance and Learning, formerly known as the Canadian Society for Training and Development. And there are chapters in all across the country, in every province, and many chapters in some provinces, depending on the size. So I reached out to the chapters and I volunteered to speak, to run a session, to come to their meetings. And so on my own dime, I traveled across the country and I went and I spoke at different chapters. And that was a really great thing to do initially because I was able to get a lot of new names from my database and also find customers who wanted to work with me. So that was a great start. And another thing that we do is, all of our business has come from referrals, which has, been amazing. And so looking for referral partners, people that say are the champions of your business, and wanting them to, refer us, and we're happy to pay them because that's just a natural thing that we need to do. We also, I think it's important to keep up to date with what's happening. I take part in a lot of webinars, go to conferences, speak at conferences. I think you want to keep yourself fresh with what you're doing, what's your industry doing, and also what's the industry of your customers doing. We do a lot of work with manufacturing, so I subscribe to different manufacturing publications, and sometimes pass that information on to my customers as well, saying, hey, have you heard about this? So that's an important thing that we. Well, I define success by the customers that I work with. We having taught learning evaluation, I'm always creating a learning evaluation plan, so I want to meet that learning evaluation plan. So I am looking to improve turnover, reduce absenteeism, increase opportunities for employees to get promotions. Um, I'm looking to, increase engagement. Many organizations have engagement surveys, so I always choose a few questions that we can impact, and then look at how we can improve those. And so those achieving those results are very inspirational for me because we can see we have made a difference, and we can see the change in those people, and that's what you need to really get the organization going. Well, one of the key ones for me is collaboration. We collaborate as a team. Even though I have a lot of ideas on what I want to do, I always talk it through with my team. And we also collaborate with our customers. Although we come in and we figure out what's going on, and I could go away and design a solution, I never do that without interacting with the customer. So collaborating with the customer, getting the right fit for them, you know, making adjustments to the plan, working back and forth, that is huge. Another one is curiosity. It is important to remain curious. Curious about our customer, curious about their business, curious about what's happening in our industry, and that keeps us learning and growing. So and aware of what's happening that could be impacting our customers. Another one is fun. I think it's really important that we're having fun. People learn more when they're having fun, so we keep our engaging highly interactive and high energy, so that it is fun for people to learn, and then they remember more. I also think it's fun to be. You need to have fun in the work that you do. Gets really old really fast if you are not passionate about what you're doing and enjoying what you're doing. So that's an important piece. Another one is service. We provide a service to our customers, and we are always looking for ways that we can continue to build on that service. What else can we do to support this customer? How else can we help them to be successful? What are some of the challenges that they're facing? You know, sometimes people ask me to uh, put together emails for them, or want to talk through some of the challenges they're having with people that they're interacting with their peers at a senior level. Perfectly fine. We can support any of those types of things if it makes our customer feel like they are um, grounded and able to move forward with the process. Well, with building the teams, a few things that I might have touched on a little bit, and one is figuring out what talents do you really and truly need. Is there someone else on the team who could take on some of those things? Who is interested in taking on some of those things? Someone do we need to provide training? And so we really look closely at the skills that we need to bring on the talent that we need, and then we write a detailed job description. We also create a detailed training plan, because even though you may come with the talent that we're looking for, there's a glass of learning way that we do things. And so we want to be able to share that with our employees. So having that documented process and procedures for how you execute certain tasks is very important. And I think another thing is even just collaborating with peers. Even though we have a core group of contract people that work with us, we have a wide range of contract people that we can draw on. The reason we have a wide range of contract people is because there's so many different talents in the learning and development space. And so we look for those talents to say, you know what, when we need someone who does this or that, um, then we have those capabilities that we can draw on for any specific project that we have. Well, some of the benefits that I'm very grateful I've been able to be a part of is the fact that there are many resources for small businesses and entrepreneurs in this area. I don't know if that's the same in other areas, but certainly in our area, there are many resources available. And I really believe in learning. I'm in the learning space. I also need to keep learning. And so, how I keep learning is by reaching out. And it's fantastic. You can just pick up the phone and you can call these different areas and say, look, I'm interested in this. What could you tell me about that? And that's been really helpful. So I've taken a variety of courses because, again, as I say, when you start a business, you are not a specialist in every single area. And so you need to learn about digital marketing, and you need to learn how to set up your books and all of those multitude of things so that you can run a successful business, because it is necessary. So I certainly have appreciated that opportunity of being able to learn and grow and reach out to the many, many resources that are available. Well, definitely, I'm inspired by working with groups of people and knowing that I can make a change in their difference. You know, our logo is a shattered glass. The reason it's a shattered glass is that we look at the analogies of the glass. The glass half full, the perception of how people see the world, the looking glass, the perception of how people see themselves. the glass ceiling, the perception of how people, how far they can go in the job, glass houses, the perception that looks better elsewhere. We want to shatter those perceptions and release human potential. And really, when you see that change in someone, when they go, I get it, it is really inspiring. I also, because we do a lot of work in manufacturing, I subscribe to different manufacturing publications so that I can keep up and learn about some of the things that are happening, and also find some great articles for my customers as well. I continue to learn. I take part in a lot of webinars, conferences. I speak at conferences. I think it's important to continue to learn and grow yourself so that you can remain at the top of your game. I think it's important to surround yourself with people that you trust and people who can support you in the areas that are not your specialty. There are a wide variety, again, of resources available. I think it's important to tap into those local resources, learn from your community, network with other entrepreneurs. Networking is something that I was usually traveling so much, I didn't really have a chance to do a lot of that, but I found, since the pandemic, that's more of a focus. And I think that is important to keep networking with your community and your peers to learn from them and see how you can support each other. Well, we definitely want to further develop our virtual learning platform. We developed it for ourselves initially, but once we started introducing it to other people, they said, "Oh, I want to be able to use that." So, uh, we have facilitators now who just purchase subscriptions to be able to use that. We want to further build out the virtual learning platform. I do think that hybrid learning and virtual learning is definitely here to stay in some way, shape, or form. And so being able to further develop that, we actually have 10 more activities right now just waiting to be finalized on the platform. So we're continuing to add new and different activities. And so I think that's important. Another big goal that we are interested in is to continue our local and our global presence. Interestingly, even though I've lived in the KW area for many years, I never worked in the KW area and I was always elsewhere. So being able to work more locally as we are now has been wonderful. And so we want to definitely continue that, but also continue our global presence. We've had, great opportunities to work in some different European countries. And so we definitely want to continue that. Absolutely. I love to have I love to be able to go to market with a diverse team, quite honestly. Sometimes it's hard to find the right people with the right skills that we're looking for at that time, that fit sort of the diverse qualifications that we're looking for. But definitely that I think that is a really critical thing. And that's definitely something that we're interested in, is to even continue to work with um, uh, you know, uh, just different cultures, and keep it diverse. Certainly, because a lot of corporate learning and development is an international language. It is used throughout the world because every single organization needs to train their people to do something. And so I would love to tap into those people who have worked in other countries, other industries, other businesses, and being able to do that, because that I think brings a whole richness to our team when we learn from other people and other things that they have been doing in their countries and in their space. Well, hard to say because I have been passionate about learning for 30 years. It's like every handful's a new surprise. Every day is interesting and different, and I love to do that. But I'm also I'm an instructional designer, but I'm also a creator. I love to create. And so I study silversmithing. I I create things for my grandchildren. I create activities and games for them. So I think I would be doing something creative if I wasn't in creating something. That is actually really critical. I have two sons, and I have always had my two sons as directors in the business, simply because, I mean, they come from very diverse backgrounds themselves that they work in. And I very much value their insights and opinions on what I'm doing. So I definitely tap into that. And then even with my family, as when I design a new experience, I will try it out with my family, and so they're never sure what I'm going to bring to the next family activity because we're definitely going to try out. They're like my test group. And I also have done that with my friends when I need a bigger group. Have tested out activities with my friends and get their opinion and their feedback on the things that I'm designing. So yeah, it's very helpful to have that input. So I can be reached at Nancy, Nancy, at glassoflearning.com, GlassofLearning.com. And our website is glassoflearning.com. So you can look there and check out the things that we do. You can see a variety of videos, testimonials, all the things that we're involved in. And then also there you can sign up for our newsletter. In our newsletter, our monthly newsletter, we create tips and hints and ideas for leaders to use as leaders and also with their teams. So we look forward to checking in with you and finding out more.